it's missing. We have some previews of the crypto report that was coming out today from the White House. This is what the working group, the cryptocurrency working group, was working on for 6 months. It went to President Trump last week. They announced that they were going to release it today, and there are some notable things missing from it. I want to go through that along with what you need to know today. There are actually a lot of things happening today, a lot of big news. This is the most jam-packed action day in the last 3 months for the cryptocurrency market and for the stock market. So there's a lot to cover. If you don't mind, hit subscribe so you can see future videos just like this. If you want early access to videos like this, I've been pushing them out on my Telegram. I've been adding videos early. I've been doing some exclusive videos. You can also get some exclusive benefits like one-on-one access with exchanges. Check that out underneath the video. If you do want to trade crypto, there's a link to BYDeFi underneath the video. And when you use my link, you can trade and earn up to $10,000 worth of XRP. This is a campaign that they have going right now, completely free to you if you use my link. Now, even though there's a lot happening today, you would not know that looking at the price of Bitcoin. It's right at the same price that it's been for the last, 2 weeks, 3 weeks almost. I was sitting right at 117,400, 700, 118,000. It's just fluctuating just a slight amount. Of course, altcoins are down slightly today. Ethereum down about 2%, XRP down 2%, Solana down 3%, Bonk down 14%. So there is some volatility on altcoins, but I think volatility could go up significantly throughout the day. We have Jerome Powell speaking later at 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. They're giving their Fed rate decision at 2 p.m. Eastern time. We have earnings after the bell. We have Meta, Microsoft, and Robinhood all announcing earnings. There's some big retail favorites, obviously, and institutional favorites with Meta and Microsoft as well. Tomorrow we have more earnings, some cryptocurrency earnings too. So be on the lookout for those. Coinbase, when they announce, we usually can get a good feeling for where they're making their money, what's happening behind the scenes within crypto, what institutional trading's looking like. So it'll be fascinating to look at that tomorrow after the close. Last night, SEC approved in-kind creations and redemptions for Bitcoin and Ether ETPs. I made a video about this, but not too many people watched it. The SEC chairman saying it's a new day at the SEC. What this does is basically it cuts costs. This is for authorized participants to help try to regulate the price. So the price of Bitcoin ETFs is much closer to the price of Bitcoin and Ether as well. So it tracks a lot closer. I think this is very positive. Of course, we also got news that the SEC is increasing the position limit on of options on IBIT to 250,000 from 25,000. This is a huge increase. This is like $1.65 billion worth now. So this basically just allows people to trade more freely. Institutions have more access to be able to trade this and hedge with it and those sorts of things. So pretty positive. It's not like it's going to affect the price today, but it is very positive for the long term. Strategy also acquired some Bitcoin yesterday, just a cool $2.46 billion. So not bad over an 8-day period. But moving on to today, right? That was news yesterday. GDP came out. It was forecasted at 2.5%. The actual was 3%. This is actually after it came in negative last quarter. So the economy is looking quite strong. President Trump tweeted or posted, second quarter GDP just out 3%, way better than expected. Too late, must now lower the rate. No inflation, let people buy and refinance their homes. Okay. Not to bag on Trump too much, but this is kind of the opposite of what this means, right? If the GDP is high, there could be more inflation and there's less of a need to cut rates because it's not like people are obviously facing a lot of economic hardships if we continue to grow GDP pretty significantly. So what it means more likely is the Fed is less likely to cut rates because the economy looks good. They're more worried about inflation. But I still think this is positive for crypto. I mean, I think almost everything is positive for crypto at the end of the day, but or at least Bitcoin. But that's long term. I still think this is positive for crypto because even though the market wants the Fed to cut rates, it's much more important that the economy is good and that the strength of the consumer is good versus the Fed lowering rates a 0.25%. If the economy is good, people will continue to make money. They'll continue to invest. Stock market will continue at all-time highs. Crypto will continue to do so as well. So I'm actually pretty happy with this. If we got an even higher inflation print, I think it would be a little bit worrisome, just because we don't want inflation to come back. But 3% I still think is in the realm of, hey, this is good. This is a strong economy, but not like this is overheating. We need to raise rates again. Some big news out of JPM and Coinbase today. They inked a deal to link users' bank accounts with their crypto accounts. They'll enable direct bank-to-wallet connections. Customers will be able to transfer Chase Rewards points to Coinbase accounts. So you'll actually be able to fund your Coinbase account with some of your 1.5% cash back that you get, which is pretty interesting. I actually have a lot of points sitting on Chase that I haven't been using, and I've considered cashing them out in the past. This just makes it a lot easier for anyone that wants to do so. And you can also use Chase credit cards to fund coin balances for the first time. Okay. This is the first time that I've heard of a major bank connecting their points to a crypto exchange. This could bring in more capital. It makes it easier for people to set up accounts, I think, and connect them and feel comfortable with that. Pretty cool, honestly. And this is coming from Chase, the company whose CEO said that he'd fire anyone for talking about trading cryptocurrency in the past. So big changes here. White House's crypto report will focus on regulatory frameworks, not a strategic Bitcoin reserve plan. The summarized list of recommendations begins by asking the SEC and the CFTC to immediately enable the trading of digital assets at the federal level by providing clarity to market participants on issues such as regulation, or registration, custody, trading, and record keeping. So basically, figure it out, guys. Like, make it so that people actually know what they're supposed to do. There is also recognition of the potential gains to be had from integrating DeFi technology, fast-moving automated platforms for lending and borrowing crypto assets into mainstream finance. So they basically want people to be able to use DeFi technology, right? In mainstream finance, banking, investment accounts, that kind of thing. Kind of interesting. The banking industry has also been placed on notice by the Trump administration for what many took to calling Operation Choke Point 2.0, the backdoor denial of banking services to crypto firms. Looking ahead, the working group recommends setting clearer capital rules and creating transparency around how crypto firms can obtain master accounts or bank charters. Interesting. Bank charters with crypto companies. I've heard that it's very difficult to get a bank charter these days. Like some entities just try to buy out banks so that they can use their bank charters. So this would be interesting if there are more and more crypto companies that get bank charters. They also think stablecoins could strengthen the US dollar. But what's obviously missing from this is some kind of plan to acquire more Bitcoin. Is this on purpose? Is it because they're still trying to formulate a plan? Is it because they don't want other countries to know what they want to do? If they want to acquire more Bitcoin, they want to do it quietly. I don't know. Let me know down below in the comments what you think is the reason for this, because this is one of the two things that they're trying to figure out. They wanted some regulation on stablecoins, and then they wanted some kind of plan for acquiring more Bitcoin, or to figure out what they want to do with a strategic reserve. This is what was laid out 180 days ago. So one of the two things they were supposed to get done is notably missing here. Again, let me know why you think this is down below. And just covering real quick, Ethereum ETFs pulled in $218 million yesterday. Bitcoin ETFs, not quite as much. IBIT had an inflow day of 157 million, but we saw outflows from GBTC, from ARKB, from BITB, nothing from FBTC. But overall, there was a slight inflow for the Bitcoin ETFs. You might be asking, okay, well, that's great. Why isn't the price going up of Ethereum and Bitcoin? We've talked about this a handful of times, but for every buyer, there's a seller. And if there are more sellers than buyers, then the price goes down. Or if they're willing to sell at a lower price. So that could be part of the reason we're falling down today. It could just be a hedge because of everything that's happening today, right? With that report coming out, with GDP coming out, with the Fed speaking, with big earnings, could just be some people taking some profits off the table, right? I think we're in a good place. Let me know your thoughts on all this underneath the video. If you want to trade, again, check that out underneath the video. Now's a great time to sign up to start trading. I was actually just talking about this in our whale group that's connected to the Telegram. Again, the Telegram's underneath the video, but someone was asking me kind of their strategy. They just opened up some trades. And yeah, I said, basically, I don't think now is a horrible time to open up trades, especially if you're using low leverage. And then we kind of talked about a plan behind that. So if you want to check out the Telegram, there's a link to that. Then look at the pinned comment or the pinned post to look at how to get in that chat. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. I'll see y'all soon.